So, what have you been doing to celebrate Black History Month? Have you been to lots of events? Have you been reading up on Black history? What have you been doing? Well, I just want to share with you an event I attended last week. It was from Barnardos. I don't know how much you know about Barnardos, but they had a really interesting event where they were sharing the stories of some of the first Black children that they looked after. Their chief executive is an Asian gentleman. There he is, Javed. And he shared that they had to change their constitution, which actually initially said that it needed to be a white Christian who ran the organisation. So they've gone through some rapid transformation, and they do an awful lot. Apparently in 2018 to 2019, they supported more than 294,300 children, young people, parents and carers. And at the event I attended, there were lots of people sharing their experience of how Barnardos has supported them. It's a really old organisation it's been around forever. And I think when organisations have been around a really long time, we can forget the good they do. So I really wanted to share this video just to remind us that they are a really inclusive organisation, that they're still helping young people, the poorest, the most destitute, the most desperate people, children, to hopefully live a successful life, or at the very least have a roof over their heads and feel safe, which I think is what we all deserve. So on the day at the event, there was an exhibition honouring their past and their future and empowering their future. And it was about stories of some of the first Black children, Black and minority ethnic children, that they actually housed. And I'm going to just share with you one of those stories. So this is the story of Fanny Jefferson, 1889. So, a really long time ago. Fanny Jefferson was born in London on the 9th of November in 1882 to an English mother and a Black father. When she was only 4 years old, her father, who worked for the telephone company in Cannon Street, died after a pole fell on his head. Receiving only £1 a week for a month from the telephone company, after her husband's death, Fanny's mother struggled to take care of her children. Help was hard to come by for Fanny's mother in Victorian London. People were not very sympathetic towards a woman who had been in an interracial relationship. After the death of Mr. Jefferson, Fanny's mother had also given birth to children who were considered illegitimate by Victoria's standards, isolating her even further from her community. Desperate and without any money to support her children, Fanny's mother reached out to Barnardos. She tried to place all of her children into Barnardos' care, but only Fanny, who was deaf and described as fragile, was admitted to Barnardos in 1889. The charity felt that she was the most vulnerable child out of all of the siblings. Fanny's mother eventually found work as a dressmaker, which allowed her to look after Fanny's brother and sister, while 2 of Fanny's half-siblings were adopted by her aunt and uncle. Fanny found employment in domestic service and left Barnardos' care in 1900 at the age of 18. She never married and died in Thanet, Kent in 1974, age 92. So she lived to a ripe old age, considering the difficult upbringing she had. And this book is full of those stories of Black and minority ethnic children who Barnardos helped years ago when actually they were not considered equal. We can talk about the racial inequality in this country, the ethnicity pay gap, and I agree these things exist, but I also think it was a lot worse in those times. To have dual heritage now is not frowned upon in the same way, although you will experience difficulty. And these people had nowhere else to turn when Barnardos opened their door. So I encourage you really to find out more about Barnardos and what they do. I don't have any shares in them. I don't have a vested interest. But I think it's interesting to know that organisations that have been going this long are still transforming, still trying to help every community and be as inclusive as they can. It definitely opened my eyes and has been one of the best and interesting and thought-provoking Black History Month events that I've attended. Please let me know what you've done. What have you seen? What's opened your eyes? What's been really interesting to you? What fun have you had in Black History Month? It will soon be over, but hopefully Black history will continue to stimulate and interest us and help us think about the way we're living our lives now. Have a great day. Bye.